Hi there. It's November 17th and time for Proverbs 17. Jump over here. Now, first one, think about this at Thanksgiving. Right? Better is a dry morsel and rest with it than a house full of sacrifices with strife. Now, there's going to be a lot of differences of opinion around the Thanksgiving table, and sometimes better a dry crust with peace than a house full of feasting with strife. Right? Think about that. I know a lot of people are going, if you voted for so-and-so, stay home. Like, okay, I will. Just that simple, right? 2, a wise servant ruleth over a son causing shame, and in the midst of brethren he apportioneth an inheritance. Wow, that's... A wise servant will rule over a disgraceful son and share in an inheritance among brothers. Yeah, I'm not in that circle of inheritance and large groups and servants and stuff, so I wouldn't know. This is a good one. A refining pot is for silver, a furnace for gold, and the trier of hearts is Jehovah. Right? A lot of people say, Lord, create in me a clean heart. That's a song from the 80s and 90s. And you know, when you refine silver and gold, you melt it down to a liquid. All the impurities float to the top. You scrape those off with a ladle and you throw them away, and you're left with pure silver and pure gold. Well, it says the Lord does that with hearts. It's not an easy process. Melt your heart into a liquid to scrape all the bad stuff off and create a new heart for you. He will do that if you ask him, but it can be a painful process, but a very necessary process, right? 4, an evildoer is attentive to lips of vanity. Falsehood is giving ear to a mischievous tongue. A wicked person listens to malicious talk. A liar pays attention to a destructive tongue. Right? Wicked people. 5, whoso is mocking at the poor hath reproached his maker. Whoso is rejoicing at calamity is not acquitted. Right. Let's just highlight that, okay? People mocking the poor, laughing at them, looking down at them. You are mocking God himself, right? You're rejoicing at somebody's calamity. You will not go unpunished. Okay? Will not. Sons, grandchildren, are the crown of old men, and the glory of sons are their fathers. Grandchildren are the crown of the elderly, and the pride of sons is their fathers. Right. Now, this is true because I have grandkids, and my kids show me off to their grandkids. They're very proud of me. So that's a true statement. I like that. 7, not comely for a fool is a lip of excellency, much less for a noble a lip of falsehood. You could probably say that easier, right? Eloquent fools are not appropriate for a fool's lips. Eloquent words. How much worse are lies for a ruler? Right. Eloquent words are not appropriate for a fool's lips. A stone of grace is the bribe in the eyes of its possessors. Whithersoever, there's a word for you, it turneth, it prospereth. A bribe seems like a magic stone to its owner. Wherever he turns, he succeeds. The bribes do. Who loses? The one who the person being bribed is supposed to represent. So now they're representing the briber and not the person who put them there. All right? 9, whoso is covering transgression is seeking love, and whoso is repeating a matter is separating a familiar friend. Okay? Gossip. Again, with gossip. Whoever conceals an offense promotes love, but whoever gossips about it separates friends. Right? Conceal an offense. Let it go. 10, rebuke cometh down on the intelligent more than 100 stripes on a fool. Right. A rebuke cuts into a perceptive person more than 100 lashes to a fool. Right? And intelligent, wise people learn from things, okay? If you rebuke them or tell them something, they're going to take that to heart. Right? It's important. An evil man seeks only rebellion, and a fierce messenger is sent against him. A cruel messenger, or a merciless angel. A merciless angel will be sent against him. Right. Evil men seek only rebellion. They just want to stir up trouble. All right. All they care about. 12, the meeting of the bereaved bare by a man. Wow. And not a fool in his folly. Let's read that over here. Better for a man to meet a bear robbed of her cubs than a fool in his foolishness. The meeting of a bereaved bear by a man, and not a fool in his foolishness. It doesn't really say much there, does it? Better for a man to be robbed by her cubs than a fool in his foolishness. All right. That's dangerous stuff. 13, whoever is returning evil for good, evil moveth not from his house. All right. There are people that will return evil. You do something good for them, they do something evil for you, right? Evil will not leave them. At that. 14, the beginning of contention is a letting out of waters, and before it is meddled with, leave the strife. Yeah. Let's read that over here, right? To start a conflict is to release a flood. Stop the dispute before it breaks out. Now, knowing that, let's read this again. The beginning of contention is letting out of waters, and before it is meddled with, leave the strife. Stop before it breaks out. The old language is very interesting, isn't it? Okay, 15, whoso is justifying the wicked and condemning the righteous, even both of these are an abomination to the Lord. All right. There's a lot of that going on in government, isn't there? Mm-hmm. People did some very evil things, and they don't want to pay for those evil things, so they're doing more evil things to cover them up. It's justifying the wicked and condemning the righteous. Right? An abomination to God. That is an abomination to God. And he will have his way. 16, why is this? A price in the hand of a fool to buy wisdom, in a heart there is none. Why does a fool have money in his hand with no intention of buying wisdom? Does it say the same thing? Sort of. Heart there is none to buy wisdom. I don't know. At all times is a friend loving, and a brother for adversity is born. Right? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a difficult time. Right? If you're in big trouble, your brothers will be there. Right? Friends tend to run away. 18, a man lacking heart is striking hands, a surety he becometh before his friends. One without sense enters an agreement and puts up security for his friend. Right? Again, don't co-sign, okay? Don't be a co-signer. It puts you suddenly under the control of two people, one of whom you don't even know. Okay? 19. Whoso is loving transgression is loving debate. Whoso is making his entrance is seeking destruction. One who loves to offend loves strife, and one who builds a high threshold invites injury. One who loves to argue loves arguing. Whoso is making high his entrance is seeking destruction. You put yourself up on a pedestal, right? Somebody can knock you down. 20. The perverse of heart findeth not good, and the turned in his tongue falleth into evil. These are just getting more and more confusing, aren't they? One with a twisted mind will not succeed, and one with deceitful speech will fall into ruin. You see why it's important to read a good translation that you can understand, okay? Where were we? If I find it not good, and the turned in his tongue falleth into evil. That's what we were reading, huh? Right. Twisted mind will not succeed in one. See, now I got lost. Where was I at? Well, I don't know where I was. We were there. We did that one. 20. Perverse of heart findeth not good, and the turned in his tongue falleth into evil. I think that's where we were. One with a twisted mind will not succeed. One with deceitful speech will fall into ruin. Right. Most people never prosper, okay? They just get their 15 minutes of fame on the news, and then they fall into oblivion. Okay, 21. Whoso is begetting a fool hath affliction for it. Yea, the father of a fool rejoiceth not. Wow. A man fathers a fool to his own sorrow. The father of a fool has no joy. Right. It can be true. And it's something a father has to live with forever. All right. 22. A heart rejoicing doth good to the body, and a smitten spirit drieth the wound. Right. A joyful heart is good medicine. Heard that before. But a broken spirit dries up the bones. A broken spirit is very hard to mend. Okay? So when your very being is hurting, it goes beyond physical. 23. A bribe from the bosom. The wicked taketh to turn aside the path of judgment. That is very true. People take bribes to turn aside the path of judgment, subvert the course of justice. Now, we have a lot of judges now that have been bought off by very bad people to make decisions that are not lawful, right? Hopefully, they will all be exposed here before too long. 24. The face of the intelligent is to wisdom, and the eyes of a fool at the end of the earth. Wow. Wisdom is the focus of the perspective, of the perceptive. But a fool's eyes roam to the ends of the earth, right? Someday, right? 25. A provocation to his father is a foolish son, and bitterness to her that bare him. Yeah. Talking about foolish people again, right? Foolish son. Grief to his father and bitterness to his mother. Right? When you think about all these protesters out there painting priceless artwork and gluing their hands to the street, and just how must their parents feel, right? 26, also to find the righteous is not good, to smite nobles for uprightness. It is certainly not good to fine an innocent person or beat a noble for his honesty. Yeah. Some people don't want the truth to be told, okay? So they will go after the good, right? 27, one acquitted with knowledge is sparing his words, and the cool of temper is a man of understanding. Man. The intelligent person restrains his words, and one who keeps a cool head is a man of understanding. Now, that's so easy to understand over here in modern English, all right? One acquainted with knowledge is sparing his words. The intelligent person restrains his words, and the cool of temper is a man of understanding. Right. One who keeps a cool head. Got that? And 28, even a fool keeping silence is reckoned wise. He who is shutting his lips is intelligent, right? Even a fool is considered wise when he keeps his mouth shut. All right? And he's thought to be discerning when he seals his lips, right? If in doubt, keep your mouth shut, right? There you go. That's Proverbs 17. What's the highlights here? Think about this on Thanksgiving. Better is a dry morsel, and rest with it with peace, than a house full of feasting and sacrifices with strife. Trouble, all right? If you know there's going to be fighting and disagreements, it's better just to stay home, you know? Stay home and have a sandwich. Make your own meal. All right? Highlighted 3, a refining pot is for silver, and a furnace for gold, and the trier of hearts is Jehovah. Right? Silver and gold get refined in a furnace, right? A refining pot is a crucible. That's a furnace. That's a furnace where you put it directly in the fire and melt it. A refining pot or a crucible is when you heat up the pot or the crucible and then melt it inside the crucible. Same thing, basically, but the main part is that God is the trier of hearts. He does that with hearts, refines, melts them down, gets rid of the bad stuff, and makes you a new heart. If you ask him, he will do that. And it can be a painful process, just so you know. We highlighted 5. Who is mocking the poor hath reproached his maker. Whoso is rejoicing at calamity is not acquitted. Right. If you are mocking, making fun of, is what mocking is, the poor, you have mocked God himself. Okay? And whoso is rejoicing at calamity, right? If you think it's funny that somebody has calamity and they're down and out, you will not go unpunished, okay? You will not. Right. We highlighted 8. A stone of grace is the bribe in the eyes of its possessors. Whoever it turneth, who whithersoever, that's a big word, it turneth, it prospereth, right? A bribe seems like a magic stone to its owner. Wherever he turns, he succeeds. The person giving the bribes succeeds. That needs to be illegal, okay? Lobbying needs to be illegal. I said it. Right. 9, whoever is covering transgression is seeking love, and whoso repeateth the matter is separating a familiar friends. Now let's read that over here. Whoever conceals an offense promotes love. Whoever gossips about it separates friends. All right. Do I need to go into that? Keep your mouth shut. Cover it up. Don't spread rumors. All right. 14, at the beginning of contention is letting out of waters, and before it is meddled with, leave the strife. That confuses me, okay? To start a conflict or to release a flood, stop the dispute before it breaks out, right? Stop the argument before it breaks out. Don't even go there, right? Don't go there. That's a good one. And we highlighted 23. That kind of goes up here with this stone of grace is a bribe in the eyes of his possessors, whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth, or wherever it turneth, right? All right. A bribe from the bosom, the wicked taketh to turn aside the paths of judgment. People taking bribes are wicked people to subvert the course of justice, okay? And that is just the truth. Okay. In some circles and in some laws, bribing is illegal. Bribery is very looked down upon. But they do it anyways. Okay. Who turn aside, subvert the course of justice. Happens all the time. Also, to find the righteous is not good. To smite nobles for uprightness, right? Certainly not good to find an innocent person or to beat a noble for his honesty. That happens too, right? A lot. Especially when this innocent person could cause a lot of trouble and a lot of light to shine in the dark corners of these evil people, right? And 28, even a fool keeping silence is reckoned wise. He who is shutting his lips is intelligent, right? Even a fool is considered wise when he keeps his mouth shut. Just saying. So there you go. And that's Proverbs 17. Stay tuned later today. We're on day 322. We're still in the book of Acts. We will be for a while. And the apostles are getting in lots of trouble for doing what Jesus told them to do. So come back later for that. But until then, give us a like if you think about it. But we'll keep doing this. See you next time.